Hi, my name is Phil Mason-Cox. I'm the director of keysfp, a boutique financial planning business, and today we're lucky enough to catch up with Tom McVeigh from Murdoch Lawyers, a leading Brisbane practice, to talk about what is an estate plan, what are the basics behind an estate plan. What is an estate plan and why is it important for people to consider these days?
Okay, well today's estate plan, Phil, involves a number of documents that we put into place to deal with your assets in the event of either your incapacity or death. So for instance, a lot of people understand that you need a will, and that deals with your personal assets, such as a home or other investments that you might hold in your own name. However, these days we've got much more complex structures, so people will have family trusts, for instance, that they might have run a business in, and we've got to deal with that as a separate thing.
Tom, estate assets and non-estate assets, how are they catered for under an estate plan?
Okay, so the estate assets or personal assets, they're going to be dealt with typically in the will. We have assets held in a superannuation fund, for instance. So it's dealing with the trusteeship or the control of that super fund in the event of someone's death. We have tools like binding death benefit nominations that ensure that your superannuation assets are dealt with appropriately. Other non-estate assets commonly are family trusts, for instance. People will have family trusts that may have owned a business or investment property. So again, we need to deal with the control of that asset or that structure that owns those assets.
In regards to superannuation, for instance, is there any law cases or precedents that have led to confusion by people not having the right control levers in place?
Absolutely, Phil. There's a case called Katz and Grosman. In this particular case, father had appointed his daughter as a co-trustee during his lifetime, and his son was not involved in the trusteeship of the super fund. Sadly, he passed away. His daughter then became the trustee, and to comply with the legislation, she brought her husband in as the co-trustee. And then they dealt with the assets of the super fund by transferring it all to themselves. There was absolutely no doubt that the father wanted that superannuation assets to be split between the two. Went to court, and the court said no, because the daughter was given control, and the daughter and her husband were given control of the super fund, that they could deal with it how they liked.
How much was involved?
I think it was over $1 million in that one, Phil.
Over $1 million. We hope today raised some issues with you, and more importantly, you may have some questions that need answering. If so, we've made it very simple. All you need to do is click on the link marked Book Your Key Advice Appointment, and we'll be in touch with you to organise a Skype interview.